Here's something that might surprise you. What studies show that 82% of amateur athletes believe expensive equipment will instantly improve their performance, but research indicates it can actually harm skill development. Let me tell you why this matters, especially in the fastest growing sport right now, pickleball.
That's fascinating because it reminds me of the Dunning-Kruger effect in sports, where beginners often overestimate their abilities and make equipment choices that work against them.
Well, you know what's really interesting about this? The pro pickleball circuit has created this perception that high-end paddles are necessary for improvement, but the data shows that players using mid-range paddles actually progress 30% faster in their first year.
So what's actually happening when someone jumps straight to professional equipment? I imagine there must be some measurable downsides.
The statistics are pretty eye-opening. Studies from sports medicine clinics show a 45% higher risk of tennis elbow among beginners using advanced paddles. It's like giving someone a Formula One car before they've mastered a regular sedan.
That really puts it in perspective. And I imagine there's a significant financial impact too.
Oh, absolutely. The average beginner spends around $200 on their first paddle, while sports performance experts recommend starting with a $50 to $100 model. That's literally millions of dollars being spent on equipment that's potentially hindering player development.
You know what's interesting about those numbers? They mirror what we see in other sports where equipment marketing drives purchasing decisions.
The marketing psychology is fascinating. Manufacturers spend about $50 million annually promoting pro-level equipment to beginners, despite research showing that only about 12% of players actually benefit from advanced technology.
Speaking of research, have there been any studies on the physical impact of using the wrong equipment?
Recent data from sports medicine clinics shows that improper paddle selection contributes to roughly 60% of pickleball-related injuries. The most concerning part is that these injuries could be prevented with proper equipment matching.
That makes me think about all those wooden paddles that come in starter sets. They must be contributing to these statistics.
Well, here's the shocking part. Those wooden paddles have an impact force that's 300% higher than composite paddles, yet they're still sold as beginner-friendly options. It's basically setting players up for failure.
So what does the data say about the ideal progression for equipment?
Sports performance studies suggest a three-stage approach. Start with a mid-range composite paddle for 6 to 8 months, progress to an intermediate paddle after mastering basic mechanics, and only consider pro-level equipment after 18 to 24 months of consistent play.
That's quite different from what most people are doing right now in the sport.
You know what's really telling? A recent survey showed that 70% of players who stuck with appropriate equipment for their skill level were still actively playing after 2 years, compared to just 40% of those who started with advanced paddles.
Those retention numbers really highlight the importance of proper equipment progression.
And here's another interesting data point. Players who started with mid-range paddles reported a 65% higher satisfaction with their learning progress, and they typically saved around $300 in their first year by not cycling through multiple expensive paddles.
That must have significant implications for the long-term growth of the sport.
The projections are fascinating. Industry analysts predict that if even half of new players followed proper equipment progression, the sport's retention rate could increase by 40% over the next 5 years.